All right, welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show. I mean, it's been a heated debate so far. Even I am being taken aback by some of the things I'm hearing on the program today. I'm sure Nnamdi is as well. I think your cap was this way before, and then it shifted this way. So, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure it has something to do with this conversation.
Well, I mean, what everybody's waiting for today, and the truth is this case stopped being, if we're going to be honest as Nigerians, it stopped being a legal issue long ago and became a political issue. Some people see it as today is the day we'll know if this is different issues. Today is the day we'll know what Nigeria thinks of Igbo people. It's a referendum on Nigeria's view on the Igbo man. And that group is saying, we're tired of this guy, enough is enough, he has to go. And another group is saying, it will first be this guy that they're going to come for us next. The government is taking up one by one. And the last group is saying, Elsa Jackie was released, Sunday Igboho was released. The only person who never actually picked a weapon is the person in custody.
Right.
So these are all the views of all the people. And, you know, at the end of the judgment today, if they give a judgment, you know, as somebody who has got, how many adjournments have I attended now?
So many. You're the king of adjournments.
I've attended adjournments now. So we might get one.
Yeah,
there's every possibility.
Let's look at this now. We talked about the Supreme Court's judgment and what we're looking at today, because that is a huge contention. There are multiple interpretations. Before we get to what the justice said, Barr Nwabuko, do you think that the decision left room for some kind of misinterpretation? Why we have divided views on it? Can't really decide on what was said and what was not said?
Well, what I think is that Nigerians are yet to digest the judgment itself. That was why I say that when the judgment came out, I expected the team of Nnamdi Kanu to bring another application from the Supreme Court to interpret its own decision so that everybody understands because it's subject to multiple interpretations.
So let's look at this now. In announcing the decision, Justice Garba Mohammed said that although Nigeria's secret police violated Kanu's rights during his arrest and extradition from Kenya in 2021, the Court of Appeal was wrong to rule in October last year that the violation was grounds for the dismissal of the charges. Now, stated, as he quoted, no legislation in the country stripped the trial court of the jurisdiction to go ahead with Kanu's case, despite the illegal action of the secret police. The justice said the trial of the separatist leader, who also holds a British citizenship, by the way, is expected to resume next year. And this was all happening in December 2023. Could you interpret this? Barrister Chidi, interpret it.
If you look at this verdict, it borders on the manner of arrest. You understand? You know, everybody was shocked and they keep on asking the question, is it now legal for someone to be arrested illegally? Is it now normal? Is it now acceptable by law for someone to be arrested illegally? Okay, you may not appreciate this because it's not a classroom lecture. You understand? It's a courtroom activity. Let me tell you one thing. The procurement of an accused person before a judge is paramount. It's very, very paramount for the determination of a valid charge. Now, if you are being procured wrongly, okay, the court is not in support of it. You have every right to take an action against those who procured you wrongly. But that charge that have been filed against you must be discharged to the last alphabet. It must be discharged. If the charge says you committed a crime of stealing, it must be discharged. If the charge says you committed a crime of terrorism, that charge must be discharged. Like the Honorable Justice of the Supreme Court rightly pointed out, criminal cases, they're very, very strong. There is nothing ripping off jurisdiction from a federal high court judge or a state high court judge or trying a criminal matter, regardless of the way you were arrested or procured.
What's your own take on this statement?
I agree totally with Barrister Ojo. There are authorities, like I said, and there's a case of Musa Sadawan State, says that the manner a person is brought to court does not stop the court from hearing the matter. He is there. It's a matter of criminal jurisprudence. Understand? So, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a course of action against those who kidnapped. He was kidnapped. I agree that he was kidnapped. I agree that he was extraordinarily renditioned and tortured and dealt with and maltreated and treated inhumanely. I agree totally. However, the court no look at those treatments as a means of stopping the trial. Rather, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a course of action against all those who maltreated him, who kidnapped him from Kenya. He even has a cause of action against the Kenyan government for that gross violation of his rights.
Did the Supreme Court, in its judgment, say anything otherwise from this? Because there is still a pocket of people that believe that something else was said, and they would argue to the
What you just read a couple of minutes ago says that he was kidnapped. That was what you read. But however, there are no laws in Nigeria that will stop the trial based on his kidnapping.
Exactly.
I'm just breaking it down in a layman's understanding. The Supreme Court says Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. But our local laws does not stop a kidnapped person from being charged to court. However, the kidnapped person, the illegally procured person, has a right against those who kidnapped him.
Exactly.
Like Barrister just said earlier on, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has already taken a course of action in Federal High Court Owerri. Or Umuahia, Federal High Court Umuahia.
He won the case.
And he won the case. So it left for him to do what? Implement the judgment, execute the judgment against those who violated his rights. Were violated.
Human rights, yeah. It's a constitutional
His
issue.
human rights were obviously, grievously, gruesomely violated. And he has a cause of rights, a cause of action against those who violated his rights. However, that his right does not stop his trial from going on. That is what the Supreme Court said in a layman's language.
So let's go to the difficult part of it now. Because if Nigerian factor and our love for adjournment does not step in, if a judgment is given today, what if you could, be in the legal advisory team now for Justice Omotosho, if you were sitting with him now, because I think even as a judge, I'm not a judge, I'm not a legal person, but for this kind of case, I'd be calling every experienced judge I know, every experienced son I know, and I'd be getting a lot of points of views to make this decision. I'd be reading, and I've even gone back to my year one notes because right now the judges, when we talk of the devil and the deep blue sea, this is between the pits of hell and the devil's backyard. There is no decision that's going to please any majority in this country. A verdict that will make the pro-Nnamdi Kanu, Southeast, pro-Igbo, right people happy will not make a very large swath of anti-Igbo, anti-IPOB, pro-APC, pro-happy. Anything that will make the pro-APC happy, and none of these groups are a dominant majority, there's going to be a loud resistance to any judgment. So Justice Omotosho is basically holding, they take out the yam and the knife, but in this case, he has the petrol and he has the matches.
in my own opinion, I think Justice Omotosho knows exactly what he's going to do. You see, when you can call so many people when a case is in this nature, but you have to also look at what the law of the land says. What does the law of the land says? Let me tell you why I am not happy with the route that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took. Because he still have the opportunity to go on court of appeal. You understand? So he would have entered his defense, bring all those things together and push it in, okay? Whatever Justice Omotosho rules gives him the opportunity within 90 days, you understand, to file his notice of appeal and go to court of appeal.
He's tired of being in detention. It's like whatever wants to happen should happen.
Should I tell you something? If Justice Omotosho goes ahead now to give judgment against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where will his appeal be based on? What defense has he entered, which will enable him to canvass the case in the court of appeal?
Now that you mentioned that, let's come to you, Barrister Nwabuko. Now we understand that the most recent development ahead of this trial, beyond the 44 lawmakers appealing for his release, we saw that he filed a direct criminal complaint before an Abuja court seeking the prosecution of two key prosecution witnesses in his ongoing trial for allegedly giving false testimony under oath. And we do have that document. I'm sure Amaka will put it up now that I've mentioned it. So he has started to, he's not happy with the testimonies given by the two witnesses, and he has gone ahead, he's gone ahead to basically file that complaint. It's not a defense, is it? It's not a defense.
I don't understand that proceeding. Somebody gave evidence against and lied on oath.
Yes.
Enter the door.
Counter it.
And counter the lies. That is what he should do.
Yes.
I've been saying it. He's setting himself up. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's my brother.
But he's
my brother. He's my brother. Understand? And from what I said, he's my brother. And I always stand for the truth. But what he's doing is not the proper to enter the dock. and counter the lies with your truth. Evidence, nothing. Now, if judgment was delivered today, which I pray the judgment is not delivered today.
I pray it doesn't.
I pray it doesn't be delivered today.
It's not delivered.
Because if it's delivered today, it will be against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Like Coach just said,
it can stand to Supreme Court.
if the matter goes on appeal, he has nothing on the other
He has nothing
because,
to show.
because in judgment, right, we have an imaginary scale.
Fine.
The prosecution is putting one thing on one scale, and then the defense is putting on the other scale. We have all the weight on one scale now. There's nothing on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's side of the scale. So he should put something there.
And no case submission is not a defense.
Because when he made the motion for no case submission, do you know what that decision means when the court decided? The court simply said, I am tended to believe the prosecution. So give your evidence to counter what the prosecution said. Simple. That is what that ruling means. The court is simply saying, we have heard the prosecution. They are making sense. So, Oga, give your own evidence.
Let's weigh it.
Let us weigh it. And see the one that is weightier. That's why you have an imaginary scale.
Yes.
Right.
So let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put something on his own side scale. If his own is weightier, right? Then he goes home free.
Is it too late for him to do that?
It is not too late.
If the court adjourns the case today, if it's adjourned, can he still do it?
Let me tell you something. If the court comes up today and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu really wants to turn this whole case around, you understand? He can, since he's now the one
doing his matter,
defending himself. Yes, because the court cannot visit the scene of the counsel to the litigant.
Yes.
Because I am totally oblivious of the rules of the court.
Exactly.
You understand? May I be given another adjournment
to enter by defense?
He can still do that.
That would be a very big lifeline.
That would be a very big lifeline for his case. For his case.
And if he doesn't,
So who will enter? Will it be him or will it be his counsel?
Right.
Him.
Why him?
He will call himself as a witness.
Him? Why does he have to call
because
himself?
he have relieved all his legal counsel in this case.
So if he can open his account,
let's take it one after the other.
Which will come first? Him asking for an extension or hiring his legal, or can he walk in court and say, I'm oblivious of the law, I engaged a new legal counsel this morning and they want to enter this, or does he have to do it himself?
Counsel.
You see, he's representing himself, right?
Yes.
He can walk into the court and simply tell the court that he intends to give his evidence.
They need an adjournment.
Another adjournment to prepare himself.
But they gave him dates, which he refused to accept.
Can
be revisited.
He's foreclosed.
Yes.
So if you are foreclosed, you can make another application. And your case will be reopened. So he can make another application before the court since he is presenting himself.
As long as judgment has not been
delivered, asking the court to reopen his case.
Yes.
Then the court will adjourn the matter for his own evidence.
But is it not still the judge's discretion whether or not to reopen?
Do you know, Omotosho will most likely reopen his case because this is a test case for him.
Let me tell you one thing. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brings an application for him to reopen his case, do you know what we are talking about here now? We are talking about section 36, subsection 6.
Fair hearing.
Judge that alone can even take him to Supreme Court to come back and they must hear him.
Omotosho cannot overrule him.
He cannot overrule him.
He cannot.
Because
he will not. Hearing. The whole world is watching, so just someone also want to do the right thing.
Okay, so we have a quick update.
He cannot overrule him.
According to one of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lead counsels, a lawyer Jimako, just shared 18 minutes ago on his verified X page, the matter of Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has convened. According to him, the judge the judge says before he delivers the judgment, he would allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to move the several motions he had filed since the last hearing date. He said he would allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to move the several motions he had filed since the last hearing date. And he also says that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is moving the motions right now.
So is it possible that what you are talking about is what he's doing?
Now, look at what Omotosho is trying to do. See,
he's trying.
I always say this thing. If someone
I feel like Omotosho is trying to help him.
No, one or two. See, he might be trying to help him. He might be trying to set him up.
Yes.
See, in law, look at what Omotosho is trying to do. You see, if court gives a judgment when there are pending motions, it will be held to
He doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't want to. So he wants to discharge all those motions and give judgment against him. That's what Omotosho wants to do. See, in court, the court cannot give judgment when there are pending applications. If he does that, that means you have denied him of fair hearing. Do you know what Omotosho will likely do? I have heard you. I dismiss all your applications. I enter judgment. I lack merit. End of the matter. So Omotosho doesn't want to give judgment when there are pending applications. If he does that, it will be deemed that Nnamdi Kanu has been denied the right to fair hearing, and it will truncate the entire proceedings. What does he want to do? Is a setup. Now, Oga, move your motion. Nnamdi Kanu moves the motion. Motion dismissed for want of merit.
Everything.
Denied. Judgment delivered. Whoever can talk to Nnamdi Kanu now should tell him, besides moving those other applications, let him pray the court
Adjournment.
to reopen his case and give him a date for defense that he's ready to defend now. Omotoshi cannot do otherwise. He will reopen his case, give me a long date, perhaps February or March, then he can prepare better and go back to court and then win his case.
Did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rehire his now, shall we say, expelled legal team? Can he rehire them? Can he ask them to serve him again?
The nature and the structure of this hearing, if it must go on, is not something that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can handle on his own.
Exactly.
At what point will he shout objection, my lord?
Are you saying
At what point?
Are you saying that as a lawyer?
I am saying.
Are you saying that as a lawyer?
No, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you are inside the witness box testifying, you understand, whether you have filed a witness written statement on oath or not, when you are representing yourself, you are inside there, talking and asking questions. You cannot be the lawyer who is also monitoring what you are saying, knowing what to ask you to say and what not to ask you to say. These are two things that two parties can handle. You understand? Your cognitive intelligence cannot help you to collate all the facts. Sometimes a lawyer can prompt a witness.
Yes.
Witness, do you remember what happened on this day? Witness,
Exactly.
do you wish to recall? There are so many technicalities involved that is not something you do with showmanship or
So you should
bravado.
rehire them.
Lawyers didn't go to
You
school
should
for
rehire them.
nothing.
No, I didn't go to school
There's
for
a reason.
nothing, yes.
There's a reason lawyers went to law school. They are trained to organize and manage the technicalities in practice. There are questions
Here's a
that
good
Mazi
case.
Nnamdi Kanu will be asked on cross-examination. It's left for his lawyers to block those questions.
To block those questions.
He may not know those things.
Yes.
It's not a matter of
I
head
find my
knowledge.
eyes thinking like a
Again,
pendulum.
without
I can't
a lawyer.
see the message on screen.
No,
that
without-
says,
without-
time is up for this show.
Without a lawyer,
Time is up.
who will re-examine him?
Time is
Who
up
will
for this.
re-examine him?
No, we're going to start stomping our feet, okay? As our eyes continue.
He
to
should bring
look.
back his team. He should bring back his team.
Thank you
He
so
should bring
much.
back his
It's
team.
a winnable case for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's winnable for him. He should bring back his team.
If you're watching from Abuja, you might want to add Barrister Ojo Atumba and Barrister Nwabuko to your team. I'm just personally advising.
Right.
I'm personally advising.
So this is Nnamdi and I all through the show. Just like
So Nnamdi Kanu should walk free. Let him not allow anybody to set him up. He should get his defense
Thank
and
you so
walk
much,
free.
Barrister Nwabuko. Thank you, Barrister Chidi. And of course, we're going to continue to keep our eyes on the Federal High Court in Abuja. The motions are being, shall we say, submitted by Mazi Kanu. And we'll find out what the outcome would be. Would the judgment be delivered today, or is it going to be adjourned? We'll find out, of course, in the course of today. And not to forget, you can also respond to this on YouTube. You'll drop a comment. Why does this case matter to the Southeast? Why have we given it 55 minutes of the morning show? You can drop your comments, and of course, we'll continue to respond to this on the social media. Until we meet again, same time, same channel, tongues will continue to wag. I will continue to pick up on all they're saying. I remain Natalie Uku.
Nnamdi Obaya, Nnamdi Obaya.
Nnamdi.
Let's remember which Nnamdi I am, but
Nnamdi.
we'll be waiting to see what happens after the judgment tomorrow. Have a great day.